began in 2008 when the Place Survey demonstrated that only 28% of the residents felt able to influence decisions. And in 2009, the City Council signed up to the Community Engagement Framework and launched the campaign with Get Involved Day in November 2009 and Democracy Day in September 2010. So it's from this policy background that we've developed a programme of local democracy workshops. This programme consists of 10 workshops which we're taking out to community groups, universities and schools across Brighton and Hove, as we tell people how they can use their local councillor and influence decisions. Our sessions are fully interactive and we welcome questions from our audience and use their answers to improve and expand on our workshops and our community engagement work for the future. This is work in progress and we are continually striving to make things better for our residents. We have a series of handouts which we put on the seats at our workshops, and these consist of a number of booklets, leaflets and information fact sheets. We've 2 more workshops planned, one for Mosaic and one for the University of Brighton. We realise that this is a new area of work for us and we're keen to learn as much as possible from those best placed to help us, those with the skills, the knowledge and the expertise in this area of work. So we've called upon our councillor colleagues, community reps, the community and voluntary sector and the Trust for Developing Communities, and each and every one of them has played a part in the workshop programme to date. The Trust for Developing Communities, we're a charity based in Brighton and Hove, set up in 2000. Our work is delivering community development work across the city, as well as promoting community engagement. A lot of our work is working with small groups to identify areas of interest to them and setting up community projects. Other bits of our work are working with service providers and community groups to help influence decision makers, as well as working with the council to implement the community engagement framework. The Trust has helped with this project by delivering community engagement training with the Democratic Services team in September 2010. Together we looked at some of the good practice examples in the city, some of the common pitfalls, and then together we explored ways of getting the best community engagement practice with the project that the Democratic Services team were doing. They were really keen to learn from experiences in the city, build on existing networks and to not make mistakes. My role in this project has been delivering community engagement training with the Democratic Services team. I ran a course in September 2010 where we looked at some good practice examples of community engagement across the city, as well as some of the common pitfalls and techniques for involving people. And together we explored how best to engage the community in the Democratic Services team project. They're very keen to learn from other people's experiences and build on existing networks in the city.
My most memorable experience from the workshop programme has to be from the first workshop, which was for the BME communities. A number of the people that came along told us that they didn't feel comfortable in the city's libraries and museums and wondered whether there was anything we could do to help them with this. We took that information back to the council and linked them up with the head of libraries and museums so that they could start having regular meetings to determine how to improve the customer experience. Officers and residents feel very optimistic about this work and see it as a real example of how residents can have their voices heard and see that they matter.
As a community development worker, I started working with Democratic Services at the request of the Wood and Dean Tenants and Residents Association, as we held a community conference last year and developed an action plan, but the group felt that they weren't necessarily skilled and experienced enough to take it further forward. This workshop was deliberately aimed at providing those skills and experiences. We held the event on a Saturday as we felt more people were likely to be able to attend, and we provided a creche and refreshment facilities, and indeed it was well attended. Jane and Angela did receive something of a grilling from the group, as there was a lot to learn, but between us we managed to answer all the questions positively, and they indeed felt it was a positive experience. They appreciated the attendance of their local councillor and cabinet member, and they felt that the workshop was very valuable and should be spread out across the city. I'm continuing to work with Democratic Services to provide the information requested as a result of those workshops, which was particularly around planning, application notices and council meetings. As the group gets more experience, their demands will increase, but the relationship that we now have with Democratic Services mean we can continue to work together to meet those demands as they're requested.
We've also been producing training packs for people to be able to send them out, and that includes leaflets and booklets that we've got on the council and about council services. We've redeveloped our website so that it's easier to access decisions, minutes and agendas on the website, and we're using the Get Involved website, which is a website for all community and public service authorities across the city on Get Involved initiatives. With support for further initiatives of the future, we'd like to run projects around specific parts of the workshop. We'd also like to do the life of an e-petition, so run a story around an e-petition that has been submitted to the council. And we'd also like to do an e-newsletter to community groups so that they can get more information on decisions that are coming up in the council and about decisions that are being made in their area. So if you're as interested and excited about the local democracy workshops as we are, and you would like us to deliver one to your organisation, there are several different ways you can get in contact with us. You can use our website, you can email us, or you can telephone us on these contact details. We hope to hear from you soon.